Lay me down to sleep. I pray, Yahweh, my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray, Yahweh, my soul to take. I want you to take a moment. Take a moment to think about these words that we said when we were little and we said when we were young. Take a moment to thank Yahweh, our gracious Elohim, our merciful Elohim, who gives us days. Take a moment to thank him, but please do not take any of these moments for granted. Scripture says that no man knows the day or the hour. You heard the dance song. Tomorrow is not promised. No man knows the day or hour. Whether you're young or old, whether you're in good health or poor health, you don't know when you could take your last breath. You don't know when you could say your last words. You don't know the last time you're going to see people. Mark 13:35-36 says, and whether in the evening, at midnight, or when the rooster crows, or in the morning, you do not know when the master of the house is coming. Therefore, be on the alert, in case he should come and suddenly find you asleep. Well, are you woke? I'm going to ask one more time. Are you guys woke? Do you want the master to come and find you sleeping? Well, first, let's look at what it means to be spiritually asleep. So being spiritually asleep is kind of like being physically asleep. When you're physically asleep, you have your eyes shut. So when you're spiritually asleep, you have your eyes shut as well, and you can't see. You're refusing to see your own wicked ways. You're blind to and you disregard your habitual sins in your life. You ignore them, and you are in darkness, and your light is not shining. When you're physically asleep, you are unconscious and unaware of your surroundings and what's going on. When you're spiritually asleep, you are not alert, you're not prepared, and you're not up. You're not aware of the surroundings in your world that you're partaking in, the sins that you're taking in. When you're physically asleep, your body begins to shut down to minimal functioning, and your heartbeat slows. When you are spiritually asleep, your body also is shut down, and you are vulnerable to the temptations and sins and the works of the devil around you. When you are physically asleep, you enter REM sleep, and the longer you stay there, the deeper and deeper you fall into sleep, and the more difficult it is to wake you up. Much like in spiritual sleep, the longer you stay in your sin, the longer you sleep spiritually, the deeper and deeper you fall into it, and the harder it is to wake you up or to get you out of that. So, we need to wake up from this spiritual sleep. The Bible compares sleep to laying in sin, and even compares sleep to death. In Mark 5:21, it talks about when Yahshua walked the earth, he came across the daughter of Jairus, who everyone thought was dead, but Yahshua said, wait, this little girl is not dead, she's just sleeping. It says, they arrived at Jairus' house where Yahshua saw the confusion and heard all the loud crying and wailing, and he went in and said to them, why all this confusion? Why are you crying? The child is not dead, the child is only sleeping. This little girl was asleep for so long that people assumed that she was dead, which can also happen to us spiritually. We start to stay in our sin and dwell in our sin so long that we begin to be spiritually asleep and spiritually dead until people start to assume that we are part of the world. But wait, Mark 5 goes on to say, he took her by the hand and told her, Talitha Kaum, which means, little girl, I tell you, get up. She got up at once and started walking around. And when this happened, they were completely amazed, but Yahshua gave them strict orders not to tell anyone. And he said, give her something to eat. This little girl was sleeping so long they thought that she was dead. And when Yahshua came, he said, little girl, wake up, get up. Is Yahshua telling you to wake up? Is Yahshua telling you to get up? Yahshua also said, walk and get something to eat. Like Jairus' daughter, are you sleeping in an unconscious state? Have you been laying like that for years? For so long that people think that you are spiritually dead? Do you need to get up? Do you need to get some food? Do you need to get some daily bread? Do you need to get that bread of life? Do you need to read your word? Do you need to walk? Do you need to walk in your calling? Are you hearing the calling? Are you hearing Yahshua say, get up, my child? Imagine this scenario. It's morning time and you are asleep. Your alarm is ringing and telling you, wake up, for the sun is rising. The sun has risen. But the rooster crows, and like Peter, you neglect the warning. You ignore the alarm, you turn it off, and you go back to sleep. You ignore the red flags, you ignore the signs, you ignore the people that Yahweh sends in your life to tell you to get out of that state. you go back to sleep and you continue to lay in sin. A couple minutes later, the alarm goes off again because Yahweh doesn't give up on you. Yahweh sends more and more and more alarms even though you reject it. Yahweh tries again, the alarm goes off again. Get up, pick up your bed and walk, but you continue to lie comfortable. You continue to lie complacent. You continue to lie because it is easy, because it is safe, because it's your comfort zone, and because it's less work. You say, I want a little more time. You tell yourself, just a little while longer. Not right now. I have all the time in the world, but like I said, whether you're young or old, whether you're in good health or poor health, you don't know when your last day will be. That time is slipping away. That time is passing you by. That backup alarm goes off, and you still choose to ignore it. And as time goes by, you fall deeper and deeper into sleep. You fall deeper and deeper into sin. Yahweh says, how long? How long will you lie there? How long will you sleep? When will you arise from your sleep? Proverbs 6:9. If you snooze, you lose, so you need to choose. The longer you lay means you've fallen more deep. How long will you sleep? Will you be like the disciples? Will Yahshua return to find you sleeping? Will Yahshua say, what? Could you not even wait for me 1 hour? Could you not even stay awake for 1 hour during the message and sermons every week? What? Will Yahshua return to find you sleeping? Yahshua does not want to return to find his people, Israel, sleeping. He will only return for those who are waiting readily. 1 Corinthians 15:51-52. Behold, I tell you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye. Any day he can come. At the last trumpet, for the trumpet will sound and the dead will be raised imperishable, and we shall be changed. Are you listening to the alarms that Yahweh is sending? Are you listening to the warnings, the sounding of the trumpets? Are you walking in the calling that he has over your life? Are you listening to Yahweh calling you? Are you listening to his voice? Are you choosing Yahweh, or are you snoozing Yahweh? Choose ye this day. Don't push it off for tomorrow, because no man knows the day or the hour, and tomorrow very well might be too late. Thank you.